Nadeco to Inec, you settled for declared rather than proved winner. Can you imagine? So Nadeco, the National Democratic Coalition, the people that are speaking from the United States and working to, to correct the wrongs that have been caused by INEC, they are now telling it to INEC that, look, you settled for the declared rather than for the proved winner. So rather than, working out things to prove a winner, you rather went to declare somebody because of your affiliations. Quite unfortunate. Let's see what Nadeco has more to say. As criticisms continue to trail the presidential and National Assembly elections, the National Democratic Coalition, Nadeco, has knocked the Independent National Electoral Commission for settling for a declared rather than a proved winner. The body was formed in the United States of America, USA, in 1994 by Nigerian exiles and became a rallying platform for other civil society organizations to fight the military regime of General Sani Abacha. Yeah, we know that. In a statement issued from Washington, D.C. yesterday and co-signed by its Executive Director Lloyd Uku and General Counsel W. Bruce Del Valle, the group called on the international community to support the impaneling of a team of internationally acclaimed technical experts to examine and analyze INEC servers and BVS, among others, to extract the original vote cast for each of the candidates by the electorate and to determine the true winner. It said the February 25 presidential election were fraught with irregularities and contravened the Electoral Act, and that the same species of dictatorship it fought in 1994 manifested in the 2023 election in a more dangerous civilian dictatorship. It also urged the government of the U.S. and other countries worldwide to place an immediate visa ban on INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Nadeco alleged that the election results pronounced by the INEC were fundamentally at odds with Nigerian election laws and constitute wholesale disenfranchisement of Nigerian voters caused by the pervasive rot of Nigeria's increasingly kleptocratic political structure. Nadeco demands that INEC draw back its curtains to let the full light of truth prove the transparency and veracity of the 2023 electoral processes. It is without question that nearly all the electoral reforms implemented to safeguard the 2023 Nigerian elections have been savaged by INEC and scattered to the winds of tyranny. It is beyond debate that initial investigation from the 2023 Nigerian presidential elections inexorably discloses that Nigeria's most recent election is the opposite of transparency, fairness, and electoral integrity. This election was polluted by blatant bribery and widespread corruption. Even INEC itself had admitted to its abject failure to comply with the requisite transparency laws mandating real-time electronic transmission of election results from the polling units to the public, instead opting to cloak the electronic results in darkness before emerging with a declared rather than proved winner, who is presently incapable of being fully embraced by the world. Nadeco also announced that it has severed its relationship with the president-elect Bola Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress for allegedly participating in a fraudulent election. Wow, this is serious. Nadeco and Tinubu fought General Sani Abacha as a military dictator who scuttled the will of the Nigerian people in 1993 June 12 elections. Ironically, exactly 30 years later, in 2023, Nadeco is fighting the same species of dictatorship, but only this time a much more dangerous civilian dictatorship, a kleptocracy mostly perpetuated by one of those who fought Abacha then. Nadeco will not look the other way simply because the fraud was perpetrated by one of its founding members. Nadeco hereby, as a first step, formally severs its relationship with Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a former founding member of Nadeco USA for his participation in the worst electoral fraud in Nigerian recent history. Nadeco maintains that the 2023 presidential election is an attempt to disenfranchise the Nigerian people through the four horsemen of democracy: doom, bribery, voter intimidation, insecurity, and vote rigging, all harnessed to skew the result of the 2023 presidential election. Inec's action clearly constitutes negligence, per se, and electoral fraud, as it violated the very statutory provisions and guidelines that are designed to protect against the type of fraud caused by its failure to transmit the result in real time. The people of Nigeria are supposed to be the ones, okay, the statute is designed to protect. Instead, they have found themselves at the receiving end of the resulting gross injustice. Okay, it also urged Nigerians and the judiciary to join hands in a concerted effort toward global condemnation and absolute rejection of what it called the hasty, hollow, and illegitimate result declared by Inec. Wow. So, Nadeco is still fuming from the US over the outcome of this presidential election. Initially, they said they were going to have a press conference in Washington, D.C., where they will say more. And I think that press conference has been held, and they have said more, and they are working globally to ensure that this fraud, daylight fraud, and midnight fraud that is being carried out by INEC is corrected by force, by fire. We can't continue like this. Okay, they first of all severed Tinubu's relationship with them, because he was a founding member who fought Abacha's government in 1994, but now is involved in a more serious, more dangerous electoral fraud, which they cannot look the other way because a founding member is involved. They will sever the relationship, which they have done already, and already Tinubu is already feeling the pain. But they are now trying to accuse Peter Obi, for inducing Nadeco USA to do what they're doing. Peter Obi has no hand in all of that. It's just unfortunate that whatever they want to do, they will drag Peter Obi into it. Even the one Peter Obi does not know, they will drag him into it. They need to defend this electoral fraud. I know that judiciary is not honest, INEC is not honest, but I know that the matter will get to a point where they will have no option but to do the needful. Let's see somebody saying, Nigeria can never be good with the likes of Mahmoud Yakubu at the helm of affairs, a corrupt man, and that is true. Okay, somebody said, I'm not against anyone winning, but can they prove the winning to Nigerians? INEC refused to prove it. That means the election was massively rigged. Nigerians will descend on Mahmoud Yakubu. It is not yet over, and that is true. They will descend on him. Okay, somebody said, Panachi, you are confused because your candidate didn't win. This must be APC person coming to talk there. Thank God, Nadeco. Thanks, Nadeco, for being in the side of truth. At least you have represented the voice of the voiceless, and that is true. Everybody is happy, laughing. So you are voiceless. You forgot you are also brainless. Can you imagine? This must be APC person coming in to talk. Okay, so the fact remains that Nadeco is bent on making sure they get it right from the beginning. INEC has nowhere to run to. The Nigerian government and APC, they all have nowhere to run to. This matter is not over until it is over. Will never be over until it is truly over. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.